So here's a crazy thing I just learned from someone in Australia. Uh, about an hour ago, this man from Australia, that I don't even know how I found, tweeted, he retweeted hundreds of bikers for Trump are on their way to the Kavanaugh hearing now, and George Soros is bussing in protesters. So I'm just going to be holding a gentle, loving thought today for the highest, best interest of all. You know, so all the people headed, to the hearing, whether they're the protesters on the buses or the bikers on the motorcycles, I want to make it clear, I don't think anybody's doing anything wrong by potentially heading for conflict. That's their choice. And growth is painful, and whatever happens, happens. And I was going to make a video. I wasn't going to do it this soon, but I guess it's going to happen now. Let's just do it now. Let's get this over with. So people clump up into groups. It feels really good to them, and they, the ego looks for things that already confirms what it already knows. And that's why echo chambers feel so good, and you feel like you're right, and you're on the right side. And there's a great story in one of the kids' books, and it's really based on a tale, but the farmer, how his horse ran away, and the neighbors come and they say, "Oh, such bad luck," and the farmer says, "Maybe," and then the son goes, or the horse comes back the next day with a wild horse. So he's got an extra horse, and now the neighbors say, "Such good luck." And the farmer says, "Maybe." And then his son tries to ride the wild horse that was brought back by the original horse. And he gets bucked off, and he breaks his leg, and the neighbors come, and they say, "Such bad luck," because he broke his leg. And the farmer says, "Maybe." And then like a week later, the army come. They come to draft men into the army, and they pass the farmer's son by because his leg is broken. And the neighbors come again and say, "Such good luck," because his son was passed over for war. And the farmer again says, "Maybe." So good and bad are mixed up because you don't know what's coming next. So, say you're on, I can pick either side. So I watched, I know why so the people on the left, obviously were triggered when Trump got elected. Hillary didn't get elected. So they've been kind of collectively throwing a tantrum since November 2016, calling it, #resist movement. And resistance and attachment are where all pain comes from. And, I know someone that worked really, really hard for Hillary and Obama, for making phone calls, all kinds of stuff. And after the election, I just checked in like a voyeur on her Facebook page. And apparently there was some secret phone call from Obama that she was overhearing. It sounded like a coup type thing. So, and she was sad about the outcome of the election, obviously, but she was very, I want to say, excited or very positive, very uplifted by this phone call with Obama. And I guess a lot of people were on this call for Obama. So, here's a person that I know who's I and then I could see and feel, because I'm empathic, all these mixed emotions for her. So, and then you have people who are conservatives, who you could say, well, they got what they wanted. You know, they got Trump elected, so they should just be enjoying themselves. And why are they fighting? And so you have like people on the right fighting, um, you know, the people on the left. So I understand the people on the left. Not that I'm on their side. I'm not on their side, but I understand based on their news and what sources that they get their news from. And then I understand the people on the right, because I know what they're watching. And then there's this sort of like a third group when it comes to like news and politics. And, you know, QAnon is sort of in that. And I know what they believe because I see what they are following. So, you know, there's like hate and shade being thrown in all directions right now. And, you know, you could argue, oh, that's bad. But I just want to talk about, I know it's a fake movie, but the movie Frozen, the beginning of Frozen, you know, Elsa had these powers and we had to hide them. We had to hide these powers. We had to hide them. And, you know, I was feeling her pain, and yeah, let's hide them. And then when she got confirmed as queen, it was like, ooh, she wanted to hide her powers. And, you know, the thing started to turn icy. It's like, oh no. And then all of a sudden her powers come out. It's like, oh no, oh no. So then you have the whole story, the whole movie, and she builds this incredible ice castle. That scene, Let It Go, the song Let It Go. If you just read the words, and if you just read the words, it's really kind of like empowering. But that ice castle that she made in that movie, that was like, I think that's my favorite scene in the movie, maybe. When she does that ice castle and sings that song, I love it. I cried at Disney. Oh, Disney had some ride, like the Frozen ride. You have to wait in line for like over an hour, and I saw that part. She's just like this robotic puppety thing and singing this song, and I'm like, I got my daughter. My daughter was 5, sitting next to me. I was like, oh my God, it was worth it. It was worth the wait. And so, anyway, if the wrong thing of her powers coming out didn't happen, she'd never made that ice castle and seen what she could do. And that's really what it's about. Let me see what I can do. It's time to see what I can do. The past is in the past. I'm never going back. All this stuff. So then I'm going to finish the end of the story. So, like, don't listen if you didn't watch the movie yet. But at the end, you find out that the prince that Anna was going to marry had a plan to kill Elsa, who was the queen, and then so that he could become the ruler of Arendelle, because he was like number 14 or something in line. So it's not till the end that you find out that, you know, if all that bad stuff hadn't happened, Elsa would have been killed, and this crook would have been running Arendelle, and Anna would have lost her sister, blah, 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 blah. So, okay. So I'm starting this, in January, this Tao, this thing about the Tao. It's an 81 passage. It's not really a religion, but it's the way of water is what it is. And it'll help people, you know, what it does for me is helps me remove judgment. And when I remove judgment from something, I can allow it to be whatever it is. So we're looking at this thing today, this potential conflict with the bikers for Trump and the protesters that George Soros is busing in. You know, who knows what can happen? There could be deaths. You know, there could be well, what we've already seen with Antifa and the bike locks and the socks and hitting old ladies with their own American flag. I saw somebody get the Antifa person took an American flag from an old lady and beat her with the handle of that, and bike locks and socks, and throwing the urine. They threw urine and they threw all kinds of stuff. While they're claiming that they're anti-fascists, they're shutting down the voice of the opposition, which is really the textbook definition of fascism. So that came up because, it could be argued that the media turned Trump into Hitler, and then all these people are like, oh, punch a Nazi, kill baby Hitler. So you understand, like, all this stuff's coming up. So it's coming up. I don't even know what I want to say. And I can't pause this video. But what I do want to say is there's an option that we all have. We have a choice to be a biker for Trump or be a paid protester for Soros on a bus, heading for the same place at the same time. Or we can just sit back and, the fifth agreement, be skeptical but learn to listen. So by listening to all these sides and the QAnon stuff, like I know they're painted as this conspiracy theory, and then that just like feeds that fire. So you have sort of like Democrats versus Republicans, and then you sort of have QAnon versus the mainstream media, kind of. Because the QAnon stuff happens like sort of with anonymous people underground. And I do see the media going after that movement in a way. Well, they go after Trump too, I guess. So. Who knows? The point is, you could be, the farmer's neighbors in the story saying, oh, that's such good luck. Oh, that's such bad luck. Oh, that's such good luck. Oh, that's such bad luck. Or you could be the farmer who the stuff's actually happening in his life. He's got a closer proximity to the horse that ran away, the horse that came back with another wild horse. It's his son, fell and broke his leg. So we all have this choice to be the farmer's neighbors, judging everything as good, bad, da, 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 or the farmer who stays grounded, keeps a calm mind, and just is a witness to what's happening. And in last night's meditation, I talked about where your eyes go, where you look, you're basically making money for someone, if you think about it like this. And money doesn't have to be physical cash. So where your mind goes, energy follows. And if I'm, okay, so like the news, Brian Williams, I was so happy to have this quote, and I have nothing against Brian Williams. I'm not pro or against Brian Williams, but he said verbatim, it's my job to scare the hell out of people. And I saw that people were sort of surprised by that. Some people were turned off by that. But the truth is, that's correct. That is what he's paid to, scare the hell out of people so they keep watching. And fear is 100-level vibration. And the mind, the human brain, so we have a spirit, which is energy, but we also have, our brain is wired like a computer. So it's designed to pick up whatever shocks us. It's designed to look for danger because that's what kept us safe before. So when the news puts things out there, it's like shock, freak out, scare, awe, shock and awe. People are going to keep tuning in because they need to know. They're scared of something. And there's fear on both sides. It's not just skewed one way or another. There's always this fear. So how to proceed. Somebody did something, and somebody did some kind of they got a statistic, which, believe it or not, and I heard it, and I don't need to buy into it. I don't have to buy into this statistic. I heard that 90% of shocking stories are forwarded on Facebook, compared to 10% are the loving. Now, that could shift. As our collective vibration rises up to love, which would be 500, okay? As our collective vibration rises towards love or peace, love is 500, peace is 600, I believe that there would be a shift in the other direction, where the 90% of the stories would be more loving rather than, freakouts. I also believe that we might not ever see another war, if we did collectively vibrate at love, or at least reason, which is like 400. But right now, collectively, we're at courage, and which is close to 100, which is fear. So you have a lot of people vibrating around 100, and then you have, some of us are vibrating higher. But let's say that I'm able to maintain a vibration of 600 level peace vibration. Let's say I make that my mission. If I work at actively going out and changing people's minds, then that's going to lower my vibration, because I'm running the agenda. I'm not respecting their free will choice, but I'm running the agenda to try and change somebody's mind. Trying is not doing. But why am I trying to change their mind? Because I'm afraid of the belief that they're holding. Oh, this guy just popped in my mind. The Nexium cult guy. There's a Nexium sex cult guy named Raniere, something like that. Raniere. He says, I heard him say it in his own, it wasn't written. I watched him say that he has had people killed for their beliefs because of his beliefs. Keith Raniere, I believe it's Keith Raniere. But so he admits to having people killed because of their beliefs, because of his beliefs. And there's this thing, I don't know where I saw it, it was cool, it said, whatever people are fearing, whether or not their fear is validated. This was Carpe Donkdom. I did a little tiny video that I saw, tiny, where it ends with, so it's a woman, obviously it was way back. They thought she was a witch, and they chased her down and they hung her. That's how it ends. You see her hanging. And it says whether or not the fear is justified or correct, the actions that people take based on their fears is every bit real. So like all these women who were burned as witches, in Salem, way back, the Salem witch trials, whether or not they really were witches, because I've heard a lot of stories where they weren't, like the person who said they were a witch, they just didn't, the kids said that someone was a witch because they just didn't want to get in trouble. And so that woman was burned at the stake because there was such a high level of fear in that day, in that time, that these kids wanted to take down, they didn't want this woman to tell the parents on them, so they conspired together. These kids conspired to get this woman who knew their secrets killed. All they had to do was say she was witch. She got burned at the stake. So whether or not witchcraft was real, and I'm not weighing in on that because I just don't know, but let's say it wasn't, just for now. Just to make this point, I want to say right now, just in this case, so witchcraft could be real, and they may really have been witches. I don't know. I wasn't there. But just to make my point, this point, as quickly, as simply as I can, for the sake of this point that I want to make, and like I said last night, I have to move forward, so I have to be able to talk about things that are potentially triggering. Just to make the point, let's say witchcraft and witches and all that was not true. Let's say it was all completely a lie. Let's say there was no such thing, and all these women that were burned at the stake were just normal women who someone wanted killed, and that was an easy way to take them out. with the crowd. So even though the mass hysteria and the fear around these women who are just normal being witches, even though that mass hysteria was based on falsehoods, based on something was a lie, wasn't true, the action that they took was real. So they did kill this woman because they thought she was a witch, even though she wasn't, for the sake of this point. So my point is, whether you are a liberal leftist or the rightest, most conservative person, or the biggest, most strongest proponent of QAnon that ever lived, you know, and QAnon, I just want to say really fast, like, because I don't want to go over this a lot. I don't want to do another video, but so QAnon is a movement, started on 4chan last October, and then moved to 8chan, and then it's been on other boards, and there's all these people, worldwide people, following this. There's this person posting as Q, and there's all these questions. So this Q person posts questions, and then there's other people and the media saying that it's basically a LARP, and a LARP means live action role play. It just means it's fake. So, but even if Q is fake, even if Q is just some kid in a basement, you know, typing out and like deliberately posting on these boards 17 seconds, 17, the big number 17 is big, even if it's all that, okay? Even if it's all that. It is doing this amazing thing of bringing people together from all over the world. So you have all these Americans, but then you have people in Iran following this Q movement, and you have people, you know, UK. There's people all over the world following this Q movement. And so it started on 4chan. 4chan is notorious for pranking. They made Shia LaBeouf lose his mind. You can look that up. 4chan broke Shia LaBeouf. And a lot of people are afraid of 4chan because they are like shit posters, meme creators, and they do some really funny things. But they're all anons. They're all anonymous. So you don't know who any of them are. And so even if Q is a LARP, even if it's not real, it has turned into a movement. Okay, that is relevant right now. Whether you believe it or not, you don't have to believe it. But it has brought people together from all over the world. And they're all, so this Q person posts questions, and then people put the answers in. Like, you know, how much is, Nancy Pelosi went to Pyongyang. How much was she worth before she went to Pyongyang? How much was she worth after? So like that kind of stuff. And how many politicians have foundations? It's like that kind of stuff. So whether or not Q is a LARP, the anons, the people who believe in it, so there's anons from the Chan boards and all that, they're anons doing this work and doing this stuff. And then there's just normal people who are following it and watching, like In Pursuit of Truth and Praying Medic. And so there's this new sort of movement. So you've got like the leftist movement, the right movement of the right, and the QAnon movement, and then as well you have all these religious movements and atheists and scientists movements. So you have all this movement, and so people are likely, you know, it's easy to go, oh, so just finish the thought about QAnon. So whether it's real or not, whether it's you believe it or not, it has become a relevant thing, because it is worldwide and yada yada yada. So even if Q is not a government person, and then there's people that take it really far. There's this thing called gematria, which is, there's no way I'm going to donate any time to figuring out that, but I do now. I understand what it is, because I was like, what's that? And I find out what it is. It's way above my way above. But these people are still coming together. So there's still people in this Q movement coming together worldwide, just the same as, you know, Republicans come together, Democrats come together, and people come together based on religion or based on a lack of religion, which is atheism. So there's all these groups, okay? That's not a problem that there's all these groups. And I'm finally realizing that I'm finally realizing myself, and this is my own growth, and this is where, so I'm calming down these days, because I used to go, oh no, there's bikers and paid protesters going to the same place at the same time. Oh no, people might die. Oh no, people might get hurt. Oh no, oh no, Antifa hurt this old lady. Oh no, I used to all the time. Oh no, oh. But now, I want to be like the farmer, right? So I want to just watch the left, watch the right, watch the atheists, watch the scientists and the religious people, and just keep raising my vibration and keep moving into that space of the farmer who's allowing the growth. The growth is happening, and I just keep, as long as I keep my vibration high, and I just share, I like to share videos that I feel are going to help people raise their own vibration, and I feel like the Tao has really helped me. Stories like that farmer story, where maybe, it's good, maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, maybe, and I have gone through things just like Elsa, where I have a dog here I'm trying to navigate around, not without making him move, in case you're wondering why I keep looking at the floor. And I sent something loving, a letter, because my friend was in a hard place. I sent a loving letter. She took it badly. And it was bad at first. Such bad luck. She took it bad. She took it like I was trying to shove my opinion. I took it as trying to help. This is before I realized how bad trying is, and trying is not doing. There's nothing to even tap on. I've tapped so much on that. So by just allowing her to get mad at me and to leave my life and say, maybe. Then when she came back in, when she wanted to come back in, and I thought about it, and I had to think. And then, wow, I realized that my life was better. It was higher vibrational without that relationship that way, where I have to keep going to her and doing this and doing that, and always wondering if I'm going to say or do something, because she got mad. She just got triggered by, I want to say, half the stuff I ever did. So it ended up being like, it was like, it's called emotional blackmail. Not that she did it on purpose, but emotional blackmail is when somebody keeps you in fog, F-O-G, fear, obligation, and guilt. So I was always afraid to say anything, because I didn't want to get yelled at, and I never knew when she would get mad at me. It seemed like there was no reason. I couldn't see the reason, and I said, if you don't tell me what the reason is, I'm just going to do it again. And so I realized when I had this break from the relationship, which was bad, right? Such bad luck. It turned out to be good luck, because I connected better with my family, and I calmed down a lot. I relaxed a lot, because I ended up getting new people in my life that I didn't trigger. Like, I have this friend now, and she just knows my heart, and I started crying the other day, and she just goes, come here, and she just hugs me, and it's like, I didn't have to talk. I didn't have to finish that sentence, because it doesn't matter. And it's cool. Like, and I had this person in my life before, but when the other one left on her own terms, this new one took a bigger place. And it's like, so such bad luck when my first friend left, such good luck when my new friend came in. It's like, it's all just, if I just focus on raising my vibration, if I just focus on raising my vibration, my life starts to turn into that farmer. Maybe. And it's not that I'm not paying attention. It's not that I'm just sitting and meditating and reading books all day. I'm aware of a lot that's happening in the world, and I'm watching. And I'm using my eyes, because where my eyes look, I'm conscious that my eyes, where they go, where my mind goes, energy follows. So what I look at, if I look at the news, like Brian Williams, I have to scare people to keep them looking. That raises, he's correct, because him scaring people keeps them coming back watching the news, and then their advertising slots are worth more money. So who's paying him? Not the American public. You know, the American public is not paying these newscasters. They're getting paid by someone else that you can't see. They're getting paid, and there's an excellent documentary that I've shared a couple times called In Shadow, and there's no words. And I love this documentary, In Shadow, because I love it because there's no words, and it simultaneously validates what I've felt for a very long time, but it also explains to me why people believe the front page of the newspaper. So it gives me complete compassion for why we are where we are, why people are obsessed with social media, why they don't have time to meditate, but they have time to update their status on Facebook. They have time to fight. They have, it's like I see these people, they have enough time. They only have enough time to read the front page of the newspaper, get mad, write a song about being mad, perform that song about being mad, over and over and over, beat that drum, I'm angry. And then all these people like go with them, yeah, we're angry. What are you angry about? Well, something I read about on the front page of the newspaper like a year ago. Okay, and you're still singing this song, you're still beating this drum. Do you remember what it was? Well, it was something like this. Well, did you ever look into it? I mean, were you the reporter? Were you the one that found that story? Were you the one that researched that story? No, you just read it, and then and instead of reading something and then just saying, is that true? Guide me to the truth. And finding the truth for yourself, they read it, and then they go off from there as if okay, this is true. And the fifth agreement, be skeptical but learn to listen, is just so important. This video is much longer than I expected. But I love everyone, and I love In Shadow. If you get a chance to watch In Shadow, it just explains, like, this is why we are where we are. This is what people are doing. They're choosing to believe whatever, and then they're judging it. This is bad, this is good. Okay? And that's where we are. And so I see that, and I'm like, okay, so this is where we are now. This is what people are doing. This is what they're doing. If I want to know, why does somebody think this? I can find out so quickly, whether it's in a video, or I can just in the Google, or any kind of a like little bar that's empty on the computer. I just go da 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 da. I can take 5 seconds to type something in there, search something, and up pops any way that I want to figure it out. And like, I didn't know who that, the lady who writes, I think it's for the New York Times, that Asian lady who writes for the New York Times, hates white people. I heard her name. I'm like, who's that? And I just like search it. And then, I can search it on Twitter. I mean, I could just go hashtag her name, Sarah Jiang or whatever. And then up pops all this stuff. And then I can read. And what I really like about Twitter is I do like that people fight with each other on Twitter. And I'll tell you why. It's not because I like fighting, because I clearly don't like fighting. But I like that I can go to one place and people get a limited number of characters. So they say what's really on their minds. So it doesn't matter if you're on one side or another side. People visit each other's sides with these hashtags. They check in and they look, and then they come into Twitter with an already formulated opinion. So somebody posts an opinion, and then somebody with the opposing opinion can search out that hashtag, and then they can fight with that person, and then you can have a lot of fighting. And this is in the movie, in the documentary In Shadow, Twitter's represented. So again, there's no words, but you can see which one's Twitter. So you see what someone thinks, and then you see and you can see people agree. I don't care, it doesn't matter how many people agree. It doesn't matter if 95% of the people agree with something. That doesn't mean it's true. You could be part of 5% that knows the actual truth, and the number of people that actually don't care and just want to raise their vibration and create a peaceful, loving world and just, live the truth is growing. And back to that point, so I do love about Twitter that people can fight, because I can, in a very short period of time, I can figure out who someone is and what the opinions are on that person. And it's not that I'm going to choose someone to side with, because I don't line up behind anybody. Okay, I just stay in alignment with my own soul, my highest, holiest self. Highest and holiest source, creator, energy, God. I just stay in alignment with that, and then I just watch the rest. And then so I line up only behind my own soul, because that's what I trust the most. The rest is me seeing what other people are saying, if I really want to know. I don't always want to know, but if I want to know why do they think like this, I can go to one Twitter place and I can read through a fight that's happening. But through that fight, I can feel and see what everybody's, okay, that's why they think that. Oh, that's why they think that. So very quickly I can take in the basic idea, get the gist of what's happening there. Okay. So this is where I'm going to wrap up. Whether you are left, right, QAnon, religious, atheist, scientist, it doesn't matter. Like what chunk of a population, and even the people who, even the people who just are, I guess, above, or it feels like underneath. So it's like there's all this fighting happening on the top, and then there's people beneath that are like, we just care about the truth. We don't care about left or right. We're not going to buy into that left, right. Like a lot of these, there's these people that are like sort of like an underground truth movement that saw the Bushes and the Clintons are like best friends, and they're run by the same people, the deep state, the cabal, whatever. And so they, but they're really quiet because they know that they're labeled as conspiracy theorists. Like Whoopi Goldberg was laughing about the deep state. So there's a big chunk of people that are about truth, and they don't come out and tell people because they're like quiet. And so they see the Clintons and the Bushes as owned and controlled by the same people, which you can call the deep state or the cabal. And so they didn't. So chunk of those people see Trump as just a way of breaking free of all these bought and paid for candidates. And USA Oligarchy is a good documentary if you want to understand that more of what I'm saying there. But anyway, so there's this, I don't know if you'd call it underground or they're above the spectrum, but these people who just care about truth, and I'm not putting them above the people who are fighting. So you got these people fighting, then you have these people underground that are kind of quiet, and they share information anonymously, and they're quiet, and they don't come out, you won't see them at any rallies fighting, and then you got the people who are fighting. These people, okay, I love them, and I love the fighters. I love them too. I love them all, okay? I love them all. So I'm not trying to make any group better than another, right? They're all part of this picture for me. So in my world, my spirit is in this spirit-directed life, right? And I happen to have this white, blonde-haired meat suit that my spirit trucks around in. And I'm grateful that I can walk and talk, and I love my life, and I love the spirit that I, sacred contracted to be my husband, and I love the two souls that I sacred contracted to be my children, and I enjoy these relationships, on the physical plane. I enjoy being a mom, playing the identity and the role as a mom, but I am just a soul having this physical experience as Carla this time around, and I could have been a man, I could have been black, I could have been Jewish, I could have been, a pope maybe. You know, I could have been any of these things, right? But I'm not. I'm this. so, and I have all these dogs, and I have a pool, and I meditate, and I teach healing, and I teach this stuff. I used to be an airline pilot. I used to fly all over the world in big jets, in little planes, and I used to live in my car. I was really poor, but I also like flew really, really rich people. So I had that, that it was very strange to be so poor and to fly people who had so much money, and just fast. I'm sorry, but really quick. So somebody that died one time, this man, he showed me, if only, because he died, he used to be really strong, he used to be known, he was a big tall man, very strong, he used to be known for like how strong he was and all this. He died in a bed in a nursing home type of thing, and he kept trying to get back to being strong, back. And so he had his life review, and then he came back, he was talking to me, and I said, how did it go? And he says, I could have done better. I said, what did you do wrong? And he said, I just wish that, he showed me laying on the bed there in the nursing home or whatever it was, because it didn't matter. If it mattered where he died, I was able to describe it enough for the person he wanted me to tell, to channel through for, so that she could understand that she was really getting her dad, whatever. Okay, so he showed me him on a bed, and I just described the bed, and that he showed me like they weren't really there in real life, but he showed me these veils. Okay. This is before I read Harry Potter, where like when people die, they went through these veils. But he showed me these veils next to him that weren't there in the physical world, but I could see them spiritually. And he showed me, I wish I could have just reached through the veil, and he put his arm through the veil and realized that there's no difference between strong and weak. And if I had been able to just know that, then he would have been really proud of himself at his life review, because he could have laid there on his deathbed, accepting that it was his deathbed, and just being with what was that he was weak now. And he could look back on all the times he was strong. But then if he could have just be weak, and be present with being weak, and sort of like enjoy being weak, rather than resisting and trying to get strong. So he was attached to being strong, and he resisted being weak. So it's like pain, pain, pain. And if he could have just let go of the attachment to being strong, and just let go of the resistance to being weak, he would have had a great life review, and he would have just allowed his life to be what it was. Because he had all these pieces, basically what he was kind of saying, showing me through however I do it, I don't know. But what he was showing me was, I had all these visitors, and they were bringing me flowers, and they were bringing me baked things, they were bringing me presents, like they were bringing me things, and they were visiting with me, and they had smiles on their face, and then I didn't appreciate any of that. He showed me basically, it's like his focus was on getting out of there and trying to get strong and trying to get home and trying, that all these well-wishers and family members that came to visit him all the time, he realizes now from spirit that he hurt them. He gave them pain because of his resistance to being weak, and his attachment to being strong, and his frustration with being in that bed, and here they were. And if he could have just said, you know what, I'm weak, and that's fine. It's nice to see you. Thank you for the cupcakes or the cookies or the plants and the flowers, and thank you for the cards. That's a funny card. He's like, he couldn't appreciate anything that was happening once he was in that bed. He just wanted out. He just wanted to get back. And there is never any getting back, right? So I cannot go back to who I was. Like in high school, I was hilarious. And I was irreverent. I was like, wow. And I can't even go back to that, because I've been through stuff. And so you can't step in the same river twice. There's never any back. There's never any going back. And, my people with cancer, I always say, the person that got you into cancer is not the person that gets you out. You can't stay who you think you are and then just be that person and then survive a disease. The tumors aren't going to go away for while you're still being your image of yourself and who you think you are. You're a good person. Everybody's a good person. Everybody thinks they're a good person, but everybody is well-meaning. It's just that they're the way they go about it is sometimes it borders on, bad behavior. So, but everybody is a good person. There's love at everybody's core. It's just how are they accessing it? And I just saw some quote by some empowered black man that said, white liberals are the biggest racists. And since I've heard that, I'm like, wow, so since I've heard that, I see a lot that, wow, that's unbelievable. I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that, but I've experienced what that man said, and something I'm on his side. But he spoke his heart. He gave that quote. I wish I could remember his name right now, but ever since I heard that quote, I was like, I see it there, and I see it there, because once you know something, you become aware of it. Okay, and here's really the last thing I want to say is, no matter what group you relate to or resonate with, whether it's left, right, QAnon, religion, atheism, whatever, that's what it's like to be me with texting. Those are all texts coming through. It doesn't matter what group you are. If you want to be happier and calm down, the way to get there is the same no matter what group you're in. Whatever group you're in, it's always the same. It's always about raising your own vibration, staying in alignment with your own highest, holiest source, creator, energy, your spirit, your higher self, your soul. It's always that. That's always the way to a peaceful, loving world. It starts with you, and then the more you raise your vibration, then you end up raising other people's vibration. You do it through the collective, people that you don't even know, but you also, everywhere you go, you carry around a higher vibration. You positively impact everyone that you come in contact with. So people with a lower vibration, negative, they pull people down, which is okay. But people with a higher vibration, they pull people up. It's just how it is. and I don't know if it's not supposed to be funny to me, but it is funny to me how people who think that they're really good people, and they try really hard to force everybody to be good people. They think that they're raising the vibration. They say, I saw this thing, we all rise together, and then they fight. They fight so much, and they try, which is not doing, and trying. And if you run an agenda, like even if I run an agenda to make you all calm down and make you all meditate with me, you've got to do this. You've got to turn off Facebook, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do this and that. I'm coming from fear, so I'm lowering my own vibration as I lower your vibration. So I'm not telling you to get off Facebook. I'm not attached to what you do. I don't resist what you do. I'm just watching you and you and you and you and you. I'm just watching everybody. I'm just watching, and I'm being more and more the farmer. Isn't that interesting? So it doesn't matter what chunk of the population you are. If you're fighting another chunk of the population, or even if you're reinforcing, in your own echo chamber, if there's some mind part of you that's saying, and this helped somebody, so I'm going to say it now. So this helped somebody because they were like, wow, I never thought of it like that. When you think outside yourself, like, we're right, those people are so stupid. So burping is clearing for me. And you're like, those people are so stupid. Your water in your own body hears, you fool, you're stupid. So even though you're saying it about someone else, your water in your body responds to stupid and you fool. So you're messing up your own harmony. And having these thoughts, so whether you think it, post it, speak it, or write it, it's got power. It has power. And that's why the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Okay? And so if you are directing, that's a hateful thought, even if it's just towards one person. So there's all these people, and oh my God, I don't watch television, but I catch these little glimpses. There's so much hatred for Trump on normal television. I was, so I don't really watch, I don't watch television at all, but I catch it here and there, and I'm always kind of like, whoa. So all these people hate this one person, Donald Trump. So all these people feel good about this. They hate this. They only hate one person, and I've been there. Not I hated Trump. It wasn't Trump, but I felt like, oh, Jesus, God, I'm just gonna hate this one person because they've been so bad to me. Okay, and I've said to myself, to my highest and holiest source, creator, energy, God, the Jesus God. So Jesus helps me. I see Jesus help me in healings all the time, and I have a very personal relationship with Jesus that's really, really funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm not going to share it right now, it's too long, but I've said to Jesus, okay, I promise I will love everyone else, just this one person. I'm just going to hate this one person. Just give me this one person. Thinking that it's okay. I just, think about what the other people are doing. They're hating way more people than I am. And I'm just going to love everybody, just this one person. Well, that one person, hating that one person is my key to being the person I want to be. So I want to be more loving. I want to raise my vibration. So even if I don't care about being more loving, I want to raise my vibration because I want to be that farmer. I want more peace in my life. I want more ease in my life. I want a higher vibration because that's what comes, So peace is 600, enlightenment is 700, and enlightened master is 1,000. So even if I'm just going for 600 level peace, and if I say, you know what, screw it, I don't need to get enlightened this time around, I'm good. I'll just top out at peace 600, and I'll just coast through the rest of my life. I can't get to peace until I go through love. So love is 500. If there's just one person who I hate, and hate's not real, it's just fear in disguise. If I just hate this one person, who is not Donald Trump, by the way, it's someone who affected me really personally, really bad. So, just gonna hate this one person. That person is my key. That person is where my work is. If my goal is to be more loving, if my goal is to see a more loving and peaceful world, I have to be that peace. I have to be that love. I have to raise my own vibration. This video is way too long. I love you. But you get it, right? I mean, so it's Brigitte Gabriel, she says, Brigitte Gabriel, she's, I don't know if she's a Muslim or ex-Muslim or whatever, but she says, all these people tell me, billions of people are Muslims and da 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 da, and she says, yeah, the peaceful majority are irrelevant. The peaceful majority are irrelevant. But it's the same way in your spiritual work. The people that I have love for easily, it's not that they're irrelevant. It's that there's no work there. It's like my friend who just hugs me when I'm crying. She's like, come here, just stop. Let me just hug you. It's like, it's not that she's irrelevant. It's that she's a break from my spiritual work. So when I'm with those people, I don't have to work. I don't have to work spiritually. I can just be. But if there's one person I hate, that's my work. So I work towards what I want by setting the intention of vibrating at peace. I have to move through the work on that one person that my ego tells me I hate because da 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 da, and I'm in reaction to that. So this person did this, the way of the peaceful warrior. The peaceful warrior acts, the fool reacts. If I hate that person, which is not real, it's just fear. It's fear that they're going to hurt me again, right? So they did something to me, and I react like a fool. Okay, but that's normal. It's normal. I'm talking to a higher level group of individuals. So if you are attending Antifa rallies and you are that kind of person, please don't bother with me, because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are like, they know they're loving, they know they're good people, and they want to go more. I'm only talking to people who want to rise. I have love, nothing but love, blessings, forgiveness, for the people who are happy, vibrating at 100 level fear. or even 20 levels shame, which is the lowest, or 30 level guilt. If Donald Sutherland was vibrating at that 30 level white male guilt thing, in an interview that I saw, Helen Mirren made him feel guilty, and oh God, there's another funny thing that came out of that. Oh God. Anyway, I accept Donald Sutherland being guilty about being a white male. Like, I still love him. I still bless him. I still forgive and respect his free will choices for all that. I don't mind. I really don't mind. Donald, you're welcome to look at your life, that many would consider, very well lived. You're an excellent actor. Your voice is cool. You had Kiefer Sutherland, thank you. He's beautiful. You got to watch him grow up. Thank you. And you had a great life. But if you choose to look at your success and feel guilty, I'm not mad at you for taking the collective vibration down with you. Because if these people in Hollywood, if these people everybody knows, like Donald Sutherland and all these people, if they model this behavior of let's be guilty, let's feel guilty. Let's feel guilty about the color of our skin or our genitalia. They're going to take a lot of people, just like my friend, the musician. He's this naturally high vibrational music comes through him. He's got a great heart. He's a loving person. He wants to raise the vibration of the world. That's his intention. That's what he wants to do. And that's what he has the ability to do. He has the potential to do that. He has done that. But he chooses to read the newspaper and then write angry songs. He's not doing the research behind whatever's on the front page of the newspaper. He's using his time to write angry songs because he believes just, at face value. He's not practicing the fifth agreement, be skeptical but learn to listen. He's reading the paper and then he's like writing an angry song or whatever. So he's got this high potential that he could lift people up. He could create this music that raises people's vibration. But instead he's using that same talent, that same effort, that same energy to lower their vibration. Fear is 100, like I said. And all these people who make it like Trump is Hitler, that's doing a serious number on our collective vibration. That's, but it's also shifting things. So I'm still just watching it, right? But after Trump got elected, and they were like literally Hitler, right? And then my friend, the musician, writing this angry song, and everybody knew what he was talking about. Oh, and oh my God, Roger Waters from Pink Floyd with his #resist, and wow, like thousands of people cheering. It was like Sieg Heil. It was like Sieg Heil. I felt like I was in Germany back during that. This hatred for this one person, and it felt so good to all these egos, this shared hatred, which the egos were just like, yes, we're all right. That hatred for this one person, Donald Trump, right, turns into, oh my God, Hitler's running the United States of America. Oh my God, all this fear. So lowering this collective vibration to 100. Right? But the collective didn't all, because obviously not everybody thinks the same thing. So then you've got massive amounts of people in Hollywood, and on television and the mainstream media, and you got Roger Waters, and you have my musician friend lowering that collective vibration. And then so what's so interesting, because I stand back and I said maybe, so by watching them, there's a huge group pulling that collective down vibrationally away from love, pulling it away from love, thinking that they're totally righteous, And then there's this other thing happening on, I want to say the other side, but so there's these younger people, this Generation Z is coming, and this Generation Z, they're watching this tantrum, because Hillary didn't get elected. They're watching the tantrum, these young people that couldn't vote. I think the Generation Z couldn't vote in 2016, but I don't know. Some of them probably could. And they're watching this, and they're like, holy crap. These are adults, these are the people running the world, right? And it's still not bad. It's not bad that these people are throwing this collective tantrum, because Generation Z is younger, and they are, they're not, I don't feel like they're empowered yet, but I really, when I find them, oh my God, I'm so impressed with Generation Z kids, because here's what Generation Z is. And congratulations if you're still watching me at this point. Thank you. Okay, Generation Z is coming, or they're here, they're in now, and oh my God, they are so amazing, and they're too young to really know how amazing they are. And once in a while, I will find one. I just saw this girl like a couple weeks ago at I think Saks off 5th at the Woodbury Commons outlet. Beautiful, young, beautiful, brown-skinned girl. And if anybody knows her, send her this video, because I said, you're Generation Z, and I can hardly wait till they are in power, because these kids, so what's going on with our, okay, so there's like over 51,000 or something indictments now. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we just watch what's going to happen. So there's a chance that maybe our entire government gets gutted, like lots and lots of people in our government just sort of start falling or getting arrested or whatever. Let's say that happens. Let's say all these people in our government now, or that were in the government, or CEOs, a lot of CEOs start resigning and stuff. Who knows what's going on, right? I don't know. But let's say our government just gets kind of scraped out, like gutted. Please remember that when our government was started, we didn't have computers. There was no computers. They had to use paper and pencil, and then as the American population grew, they had to hire more people in governments to take care of the rising population. Through computers, though, with the help of computers, you don't need so many people with so many jobs. And this is where Generation Z comes in. So the way I see Generation Z, like I said, they're still a little young, so you don't realize. But if I just waved a magic wand and I empowered Generation Z in one fell swoop, and I said, okay, guys and girls, okay, you guys, okay, everyone, Generation Z, how do you think we should run our government? How do you think we should run these programs? This is what this group of extraordinary individuals, okay, if they were given the power and if they had the self-esteem and the confidence, they could look at the way that we've been running stuff and go, oh my God, you guys are wasting resources at an incredible rate. Why do you even need people? You don't even need to support that office. You have this office where you hire all these people, you pay this light bill and this electric bill, and people are driving their cars to this job this many days per year, and they're on the road, and they're wasting all these resources. They don't need, so you could just take one. Generation Z will be able to take one person from their generation and create websites, right, that perform the functions that multiple offices right now in governments all over our country are doing. So what I'm saying is Generation Z could have one kid, their kids to me. And I say that with all the love in the world. Like, I call them kids because they're a lot younger than me, but oh my God, I'm in love with them. They are the future, and I'll tell you, I have so much hope for the future because of this Generation Z, and I cannot wait till they're empowered. And I will help them anyway. If any of this resonates with them, please get a hold of me somehow. I will help you, because one kid from Generation Z is gonna be able to sit down with someone and say, what programs do you want? Okay, for the elderly, say. Okay, elderly meals program. All right. And that one person, one kid, one Generation Z kid will be able to create a website that's usable by one website for the entire country to get meals delivered to seniors. And that kid will be able to work in their pajamas from home with a laptop. So they won't need a car. They won't need clothing, like a clothing allowance. They won't need to go to, and you think of how many buildings, how many offices can be shut down. Like, you don't need to use them for that. You don't need all these government buildings anymore. We have computers. We have access. We can create a website where if an old person needs a meal, then they click a button, and within an hour, the meal shows up at their door. And each click costs $1 or something like that, or $3, because they don't need all these people to work in all these different offices and all these government employees with their pensions and their benefits from all over the country. So you're talking about one kid running one website, right? Gets rid of thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs. This is what Generation Z is capable of. So if these 51,000 indictments take down a lot of people in our government, please remember this. Calm down, okay? It's not bad. It's not good. It is whatever it is. Let's just watch. Let's be the farmer, you know. The more people that want to be calm, this is your option. That's who I'm talking to now, because I doubt anybody that's not trying to be like that is still hanging on here after an hour and 6 minutes. Okay. This Generation Z, they are going to be able to, I just wish I could wave the magic wand, because they could redesign the way we do everything. And I mean everything. We need so many less government employees. We need so many less government buildings. We need so many less departments and this and that and that, that this one kid could get paid $100,000 a year, live in his house, live and work from home, right? Or travel all over. He or she could travel all over the world, and from Fiji could be working, or from France could be working, or from on vacation, just running the website from a cell phone, really. Honestly, I mean, this is Generation Z. This is the capability we have, and we're not there. So all these people are still fighting and trapped in this old paradigm of left, right, all this stuff, which is okay. But it'll be interesting. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen, because Generation Z is like, holy crap, you old people, you dinosaurs, fighting in this old stupid paradigm of left versus right, when we're all on the same side, and all we need is a website or 2 websites to do this or to do that. Why are you wasting all of our resources? Why do you have 150,000 people driving cars into different offices all over the country when I can write a line of code in a computer that covers all those people's jobs? 150,000 jobs covered on a website in one line of code. This is the reality. This is who they are. It's cool as hell. It's so cool. And if you can calm down, you calm your mind, and just meditate and you watch, maybe you'll come to these same conclusions as me. And then the other thing I want to say, so I think most people know that the Fed is not a federal thing. It's owned by bankers. So the Fed, our money supply comes from this thing called the Fed. And I think most people know this, so I'm not going to go into it. But basically, these bankers own the Fed. They print the money. They loan it to our government, and then charge interest to our government on the money that they're lending. So the Fed lends, it's a little group of people that own this Fed, and they lend money to the government with interest, and then the government uses the money, passes it out, and we use that. But we always, so that's why we never own anything. We don't own anything because all the money that we use is all borrowed money. And so as soon as we take it, even if we earn it, we owe interest on it. Okay, so there's really no way to pay the Fed back, because every dollar that we use comes with interest. So there's no way, even if every single American pays off what they owe, we still owe interest on whatever we have. So all the dollars, all the pennies that we have milling around in our society, there's interest owed on that money. And so a lot of people are scared about that right now. And so here's the other thing I wanted to address, and I just want to calm people down with this. And I understand, because I've listened, people who understand about the Fed, freaking out because you're used to this old paradigm where you take out a loan, you have to pay it back. And so, of course, you would freak out because here's this loan that we can't pay back. How can we pay it back? Because anything we used to pay it back with, we owe interest on. Okay, I just want to calm you down because there is another way of dealing with the currency. I'm not going to go into it, but I just want you to understand that if you're afraid because you understand that there's no way to pay back the debt we owe. Okay, so we look at this debt, oh my God, what are we going to do? You have to relax and realize paying it back is old paradigm. And there is a different way, all right? Trust me on that. I've heard different ways, and it's very cool. And again, we have such smart minds coming in, and they're just not empowered yet. But trust me, they've seen the fighting, okay? They've seen the, after Trump got elected, they've seen the left sort of throw this big tantrum. They've seen the right fight the big tantrum, and they see this. And they're still young, and there's a lot of them that are quiet, and they're just going, whoa, whoa. They're watching the bikers go to the hearing, the Kavanaugh hearing, and they're watching the George Soros bust in, and they're like, well, what's going to happen? But maybe a certain amount of the fighters need to either hurt each other, kill each other, and to calm the rest down. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not attached. I know what I do feel is that the paradigm we've been in and the paradigm we're in now is meant to shift into a way maybe we've never seen before. And I think our currency is part of that picture, and also empowering Generation Z to come forward and say, and it may be piles of rubble. It may be piles of rubble or a government that's completely gutted that it's going to take for Generation Z to come forward and say, here's our idea, here's my idea. And it'll be like, holy crap, we never thought of that, because all of us are old dinosaurs trapped in this old paradigm. And that's just not all that there is. There's so much more. There's this incredible, peaceful, beautiful, loving congregation of souls that is just like, they don't care about fighting. They don't care about fighting at all. And through connecting energetically, I don't want to get all involved with it, but through connecting energetically with what I call it the soul party, with these people who are just raising their vibration. And I'm just raising my vibration. And we don't, I had to learn, like, if I try and explain the left to the right or the right to the left, then when I try to explain the sides, each side thinks I'm on the other side. So I had to that's why. Because, they treating me like I'm on the other side, and now they want to pull me onto their side, and they're trying to pull me on their side. And so I just realized, okay, well, there's no good for me can come from trying to explain anybody to anybody else. So all I can do is raise my own vibration. So when I came to that conclusion, and I sort of at first for 5 minutes, I felt alone. Oh, I'm alone. I'm the only one. And I just sort of laid back into it like, okay, so I'm the only one. So, and it felt like 95% of the world is fighting, and I'm part of this 5% that doesn't want to fight, and and I don't know who any of them are. Well, once I let go and I sort of fell back into, okay, if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is, and I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to stop trying to explain anybody to anybody else, and all I'm going to do is just raise my vibration and help other people raise their vibration. And I'm just going to stay out of the fight, Once I leaned back into that and I allowed that, I became aware of this. I just feel energetically I'm resonating, and I'm energetically supported by all these other people all over the world who are on the exact same page as me. And although I can't call any of them up and ask them over for tea, maybe I will at some point. Maybe there will be that. But for now, I'm one of the only people, that I know that thinks, I'm the only person that I know that thinks the way I think. I'm the only person that I know that thinks the way I do. And when I became okay with that, and I relaxed, and I stopped trying to turn anybody else, trying to run an agenda and make one other person understand me, okay? That was what it was. I was trying to make people just understand me. And they're like, no, just understand me. And I'm like, no, just understand me. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're on the side or if you're even in the center. While I was in the center, trying to explain myself, I was still hurting myself because I was attached to being heard. I resisted not being heard. I resisted being alone. I resisted being the only one who thinks like this. I was attached to having one person. I just want one person that understands me. My mom died and she would, no. I let go of the attachment to being heard. I let go of the attachment to having one person come with me. Come with me. I want to raise my vibration, but I want one person to hear me and understand me. I resist being alone spiritually. I don't want to be the only one that thinks like this. When I finally go, you know what? I'm the only one that thinks like this. I'm the only one that sees it this way. And then I let go of the attachment and the resistance to being the only one who sees it like this. Now I feel energetically, I don't know any of them, but I feel them energetically. I feel supported by this group of people that are resonating in the same frequency. And trust me, there are more people like me than I realized. And we probably all feel alone. And we probably are all over the world. And we probably all feel like the only one who sees it this way. And we think this way. And then that's okay. It's okay. I'm not sad. You notice I'm not tapping or burping or like yawning. I'm fine with being the only one who sees it this way and feels it this way. So until then, I'm just going to keep on raising my vibration, work at, helping other people raise their vibration and just seeing. It's okay to be the only one. I love the expression. If two people are thinking alike, one person isn't thinking. And I love my father so much. My dad says, he says, he's so cute, and he's always kind of been a rebel. My parents met skydiving, and he's hang glided, and he's just cool, man. And he says, I don't know why I'm like this, but I sort of feel like if everybody says we need to go in that direction, I'm compelled to look in that direction. Because if everybody thinks that's correct, then I have to wonder, well, he says, it almost scares me to just go along with the crowd, and I just have to look over there and see, or, so anyway, I really love whoever's hanging on this long. I love you. And Generation Z, you guys and girls are the future, and just trust yourself, and you'll know if you're in Generation Z, because you're going to look at stuff and you're going, oh my God, why do they do it that way? Why are they wasting this? Oh my God. So if you're looking sort of at, the world and the way things are being done, and you're sort of like, this makes no sense. This is so stupid. And if you see the fighting, the left and right, especially in our country, is really obvious. And you're like, these are supposed to be grown-ups? You're probably in Generation Z. And I feel like I would be a good teacher for you, and I will be happy to exercise all my energy, empowering the crap out of you until the day I take my last stinking breath. I will teach you everything I know. I will give you that leg up, and I will help you believe in yourself and develop your confidence. And I love you, and I can feel you, and I feel you guys, and you're amazing, and you're the future, and you're gonna take us. And I do feel like because of your high potential and your total paradigm shift, it's like a ridiculous paradigm shift. When you guys start to become empowered and you start to make the changes in the paradigm and make things operate in a much more efficient, energy efficient way, not just with resources, time, energy, everything, through your shifting of the paradigm, you're going to bring so many people together. And the fighting that we see right now, the lefts and the rights, they're going to stop fighting and go, Whoa, you see that? That's pretty cool. And so you're going to be, because of your paradigm shift, just by doing what you're doing, just by focusing on getting your work done the way it comes through you to do it, you're going to pull people out of the fighting. Because people, I truly believe people don't really want to fight. I really do. I believe that we are love at our core, and I believe strongly that people don't want to fight. That being said, I am going to pray my face off for all the bikers and all the paid protesters on the buses right now to go to Virginia and wish for the highest best interest. But I really love you all. I love you all. I bless you all. I forgive you all. I respect all your free will choices in all directions of time. And I love you all. Thank you for listening.